Okay. One, two, three, and let's go. Excuse me. Hi, everyone. I am your typical dude sort of guy, and we're gonna do this segment that I like to call Easy Lazy Keto. Now, we're gonna change things up. We're gonna have easy lazy um, intermittent fasting or anything else. Now, I want to start off by explaining to you why I'm doing this video here, what it's all about, and why we're all here today. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, too. It is the year 2018 right now. And right now, well, let's talk about 2017. I'm about 5'11", and I weighed in at about 270 pounds in 2017, about this time of year, October. So it's now October 2018, and I weigh 165 pounds. Yes, and how did I do that? Well, it took a lot of work and no work at all at the same time. And I wanted to develop a series of videos to try to share my experiences, just to give you all an idea of what I did and what I continue to do. So that's going to include reviews on certain food products, and I just ate a while ago. And what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. Now, again, I am by no means a scientist or an expert, but after this time frame, I can give you an idea of what what worked for me, what didn't work for me. Excuse me, I got a cough here. Ah, and I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry. Again, I also do easy and lazy videos where I'm not really doing a whole lot of editing, so please excuse that and bear with me. It's a lot easier. I'm not as tech savvy, nor can I afford a good computer, nor do I have the time. I work two jobs and just keep myself busy. And so this is the easiest way I could think of to get some information to everyone pretty fast. And give you some illustrations. So let me give you an idea. Let me illustrate myself back in 2017. And I'll give you the reason as to why. So this was me. Yeah, there you go. At 37 years of age. I can't write years right. Um, yeah. And there's me smiling. My big fat face. And man boobs and all. Little hairy arms there. And I was looking more and more like the guy from The Simpsons, comic book guy. And then here's some little internal tears because I'm crying on the inside knowing. But I was content because my lifestyle included several things. Being on the couch, drinking stuff like beer, eating stuff like pizza, and burgers, watching lots of porn. Oh no, and just being a lazy fat ass. And it wasn't like that. Always like that. Back maybe 20 years ago, when I was in high school, I was a lean, mean, butt-kicking machine, and I was at about, I was about at 165. Actually, I was my lowest. I think my senior year, I was probably about 155. So so what ended up happening to me, that made me want to change were several factors. But before that, I want to tell you that in the past 20 years, well, 20 years, well, I'd say 15 maybe, I started making efforts to try to lose weight. Um, and I'm not going to say that this, what I did here is going to work for everyone, but it worked for me because everything else didn't work for me. Um, I even got to where I was like weight training, um, jogging, eating salads. But then you say, oh, well, you know, those salads, I'm going to want salad dressing. I'm going to want Thousand Island. So, yeah, I was doing all these things, but I was being inconsistent with it and doing things wrong. So, preparing myself for this weight loss adventure took several months to try to convince myself. And I finally gave up and said, I gave in to this, I surrendered to the idea of saying, I got to do this and I got to make some changes. The New Year's resolution thing. So between 2018, or between January 1st to, well, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So August is when I started noticing that I had lost over 100 pounds. Well, the changes started happening within the first month, which is magnificent. So we're going to talk about the easy things really quick, and we're going to go through different videos explaining. I guess I can separate it in different categories. But yeah, we can talk about what not to do, or let's talk about first of all why to go into it. Um, and my experience, why I chose to go into it, and so the why. Number one is your health. That's right. So a lot of people say, "Hey, look, if I'm not gonna, if it's gonna be so hard for me, it's gonna be so difficult. I'm gonna have to give up a lot of stuff." Yeah, and if you don't, you're gonna die. Um, I mean, not right away, but who knows? But with making these changes, there's a sense of importance that or immediacy that one has to take action with. Now, let me explain what I was going through. And I started noticing this in 2017 at about 270 plus, wavering between 275, 265, 275. I'm sorry, there's like a glimmer there, but it says 270. Um, so I was getting headaches and feeling like shit, feeling faint. Sorry, my handwriting's bad. I'm not a exact that this if this proves that I'm no expert at anything. My handwriting is a good indication, um, or indicator rather. And what else? Pain, getting the pain on the knees, pain on the back. I suffered through sciatica. Um, and you know what? I will tell you that with sciatica, I mean, I still have sciatica, but I'm not getting it as frequently. Unfortunately, I still have sciatica, but it's very much reduced. Um, so why? Your health is number one reason. Um, Two is well, looking and feeling good. So when you make these changes, when you go through a weight loss, you start automatically getting a different sense of a healthier mind, spirit, and body kind of thing. That whole triangle thing that people talk about. Um, you start de-aging. You start going through all these rapid changes. So yeah, I mean, why health? Looking good, looking and feeling good, and not just physical health, but mental health as well. Now, there are some drawbacks, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you what I experienced, like withdrawals and how I felt mentally going out in public, um, and not being able to do things like drink, or have a good time. You know, it's just that anxiety that you develop, and I'm going to share some of that. Um, but yeah, do it for your health. Do it for feeling good and your mental health. Um, do it for self discipline too. You know, it's overall improvement, and it's gives you a better quality of life. And you also, to a certain extent, save money. And I think a lot of people get intimidated when we're talking about stuff like ketogenics. And this is why I'm doing this video. This is exactly why I'm calling it easy and lazy. Because one thing that scared me away from ketogenics to begin with was that people were saying, hey, you got to go get organic all the time, or they'd always reference stuff like Whole Foods. You got to go to Whole Foods. You got to go here. You got to go there. And I was like, well, I mean, I don't have time to do that all the time. I work evenings, and sometimes I got to go to like Walmart, or in Texas we have a store called HEB, which is our grocery shop. And those are the 24/7 ones. So I can't afford, also with the jobs that I have, I can't afford to be going to Whole Foods or Central Market over here, or other places that have organic foods. I mean, to me, that's just a lot of money. So, and while I do encourage that, and I say, hey, if you have the option to do that, do that. But we're going to explore other options here. I'm going to tell people what you can get at places like at Walmart, or or hey, look, if it's last minute stuff, and the only place that's around that's open is a McDonald's. I'm going to tell you what you can get at McDonald's. I'm going to tell you what you can get at a KFC. So you can actually you have a lot of options with keto, but you got to know not not just what to eat, but how to eat it. And you do, again, those are last resort options here. You do want to go and make your own food. You want to have all your ingredients all prepared. So I'm going to share some recipes as well. I'm going to share, but a lot of stuff I'm going to share the easy things to do. I mean, you don't have to go and spend an hour in the kitchen. You don't have to meal prep all the time. You don't have to make. I see these videos where people are making these concoctions where they're putting about 10 different ingredients to make some little ball or something like that. And I was like, really? You don't really need to do that. There are some key things. If you're simple like me and you just, you know, I'm no ham and egger, but you know, bologna sandwiches always did it for me when I was a kid growing up. And so, you know, when I get overcomplicated food, it does tend to overwhelm me. So this video is more for you kind of people that are like me. Said, hey, look, bacon and eggs, this is how we do it. You know, I don't have to put sage on everything, or I don't have to overcomplicate all my foods. So this is a little bit about that. This is quick and easy. Now, I'm not going to discourage anyone from doing that. In fact, there are some foods that I do spend time on. I do put an effort in. I do get the right ingredients. And yeah, that's fun when I have time and money to do that. It can't be done every day. It's not feasible for me to do that every day. I'm a single male. I live by myself, so I can't rely on a spouse to cook for me. And besides, that would be rude, you know. Hey, I'm on keto. You have to cook my food. But yeah, that's just some of the information I want to share with you all. I hope that you guys are interested. Please feel free to send me suggestions, questions. Again, I'm no expert. I'm not going to be saying you have to do this. I'm just sharing my experience. I'm sharing my ideas, what I'm doing, and what has worked for me. What made me lose 100 pounds. And it just wasn't keto. It was other things as well that we're going to get into. But you know, that's something that you want to lose within a relatively short amount of time. We can do this, and it's going to be healthy, and it's going to be safe. The big thing that you just want to keep in mind before we get to our next chapter is sacrifice. There's going to be a little bit of sacrifice. You got to lose yourself a little bit. You got to prepare, mentally prepare yourself to do this for the first time in your life if you haven't, to say, look, I want to go through some major changes. I want to get out of this. I need to get out of this. So, and do your own research. I would recommend Dr. Berg on YouTube. He's the one that I saw so many other videos. Dr. Berg is really the one that made the most amount of sense. And And when I did further research online and talked to some other experts and other nutritionists about specific things, everything just seemed to add up. But anyway, I hope this video is something that interests some people, and hope to do the next video sooner than later. Until next time, goodbye.